Hey, IrnieracingNews. A New Brunswick woman was charged with obstruction after refusing to provide documentation of sensitive disability. This was over a year ago. Some may remember it. A woman with her mom was shopping in the mall and she wasn't wearing a mask. She has an exemption. And you shouldn't need an exemption anyways. But anyway, she was shopping without a mask. The police were called. The police asked her for her identification for her exemption. And as you remember in the Canadian rules, you do not have to show proof of exemption. It's your private information. You don't have to show proof. They're supposed to take your word at it. Well, anyways, the cops didn't take her word at it and said, well, you have to leave the store. So she left the mall and she was filming. There's film of this and it's on Rebel News. And then when she finally gets out of the mall's front entrance, then they ask her again for identification. Just straight up, I want your identification, your ID, some sort of government ID. And she says no. And then they arrest her for obstruction, putting her face into the concrete, their knee on her back by these two officers, arrest her and drag her away to the police station for, you got to understand, obstruction of justice. You're obstructing them from doing their investigation or arresting you, which she was not doing. She has every right to not provide ID. She was not charged with a criminal offense. You can't just arrest somebody for a secondary offense when it's like, oh, you didn't give me ID, so I'm going to arrest you. But what is the reason to get the ID? That's what you have to arrest them for first. And then you can require ID. Man, it's so frustrating to watch these tyrants just destroy Canada. Like, who do these people think they are? How do they live with themselves? Anyway, sorry, let's get to the article. So this is another democracyfund.ca story of helping this woman. So out of Woodstock, the legal ordeal for a disabled shopper criminally charged with obstruction after shopping maskless finally came to an end in provincial courtroom Tuesday when all charges were withdrawn. Wendy Kirkland was criminally charged with obstruction over 2 years ago when she went shopping with her mother at Hart Store in Woodstock, New Brunswick. As Wendy was maskless, the police were called. They attended the Hart Store, where they confronted Wendy and demanded proof of her exemption. Wendy, whose disability is highly sensitive and private, refused to provide documentation, but complied with police direction to leave the store. Unfortunately for Wendy, the matter did not end there. The police pursued her outside the store with demands that she provide her name. When she refused, Wendy was apprehended, pinned to the ground, and charged with obstruction. Again, charging her, it's a secondary offense. What is the primary offense that you're actually saying that she interfered with your investigation? No citizen has to help the police with an investigation. I don't have to help you with your investigation. Wendy's heartbreaking story and a video of the encounter were previously featured on Rebel News. I'll put a link in the description. With the help of donors, the Democracy Fund, TDF, retained Rashidi and Associates to advocate for Wendy and secured the complete withdrawal of her charges. Wendy is thankful for the donors who made her defense and vindication possible. Again, but the police, and the Crown, they just drag you through this bureaucratic bullshit court system. They can lay charges on you that will never stick and drag you around court, just like I'm doing with the Conrad Herbs versus public interest. How many times have I been in the courthouse? All for just 3 tickets that are $109 initially, and then he gave me more tickets, of course, to threaten, intimidate me, right, outside to not keep pursuing this, it looks like. But I am continuing for the point, it was a $327 of fines. My time has gone well beyond that, but it's the point, guys. I am fighting for the public interest, because if I give up on this, then it's just going to continue and continue and continue. The tyrants will not stop. If we can make a few of them accountable along the way, like these Conrad Herbs, we are winning slowly and surely. They will think twice knowing that there's Irnies out there that will fight these unjust traffic tickets, these unjust police intimidation, neglect of duty, oppressive conduct, harassment, etc., guys. Irnieracing News.